The region Balat, the word coming from palation meaning palace, is an area where we have numerous Greek churches. Near the Blachernaia Palace, the importance was understood when the Sephardic Jews settled here, escaping the Spanish Inquisition by the end of the 15th century. In the region we see typical Jewish buildings, mostly 3 stories, with second and third floor prostrations like balconies, and Mehmet II gave the freedom of faith to non-Muslims by his Emanname. Bayezid II brought the Jewish people, starting in 1492, into Istanbul, and most of them settled along the Golden Horn. The highest ranking priest of the Orthodox Church is called the Patriarch, and the patriarchal building has been here since 1601 and is known as the Hagios Yorgos Church, known as the Monastery of St. George in the Fanar district. The activities of his community is conducted from here. According to the Greek Orthodox sect, the bodies of the 3 saint nuns, Theophano, Euphemia, and Omonia, and many other holy relics are on display inside the church. The Bulgarian Patriarchal Church, greenish and gray-colored, was built in 1898 in Neo-Gothic style in Vienna, in cast iron, and has been shipped here using the Danube River, and it was remounted along the Golden Horn and completed in 1898. It's the only cast iron church in the world remaining. The Galata Tower is located on the north section of the Golden Horn and owes its name to the Genoese colony which lived here at one time and was completed in 1349. Its observation balcony is 52 meters high, while the tip at the top of the conical cap is at 70 meters. The tower weighs 10,000 tons, and Ahmet Hazarefendi Çelebi, a Turkish aviation pioneer, flew from this tower across the Bosphorus to Üsküdar, a distance of 1 3/4 of a mile in 1636, with a pair of original wings invented by him, and was rewarded by the Sultan with a bag of gold. The Princess Islands is one of the major summer resorts of Istanbul, and is full of hills covered with pine trees and flowers. It was a place where once the dethroned emperors were exiled. Especially its summer houses and villas are worth seeing. The pine grove with no motor vehicles, and the transportation is done with 230 horse carriages on the 9 islands, is one of the must-see places around Istanbul. Büyükada, the Big Island, is where the Greek Orthodox Church, called Ayayorgi, St. George's, is located at the highest hill. The name of the church is derived from the patron saint of Cappadocia, St. George, who was martyred by pagans in the 3rd century AD. Every year, on the 23rd of April, the day of Ayayorgi Memorial, as well as the 24th of September, the 40th day of the Virgin Mary's death, thousands of visitors from all faiths come for the celebrations. Taksim Square is the most famous square in Istanbul. The word meaning of Taksim is partition, because this was the center for distributing the water to the Beyoğlu district. The ceremonial monument in the middle of the square is a common meeting point. The Republic Monument is 11 meters high and was erected by the Italian sculptor Pietro Canonica in 1928. One side represents the Republic of Turkey while the other side represents the National War of Independence of Turkey. Surroundings of Taksim is inhabited by non-Muslims and represents the cultural and shopping center of the city. Along the most crowded pedestrian avenue of Istanbul, the Istiklal Street, meaning independence, lies many shops, cinemas, exhibition halls, theater halls, art workshops, discos, and cafes. Several countries' consular buildings are here. Along the Nevizade Street, with the Flower Passage, Fisherman's Street, and the nostalgic tram operating between the tunnel and Taksim, forms a very colorful, moving, and a 24-hour busy street in town. The tunnel is the world's second oldest underground transportation system and was constructed by a Frenchman in 1874 and is 573 meters long. The Bosphorus is a water channel that connects the Black Sea and the Sea of Marmara and separates the European and Asian continents of Istanbul. In 2001, the American underwater archaeologist Ballard identified that Bosphorus was a dry riverbed some 7,500 years ago. But then, at the time of the Noah's flood, the water level rose up and the Sea of Marmara was connected to the Black Sea. We have two different currents. The surface current runs from the Black Sea towards the Sea of Marmara, whereas the bottom current runs in the opposite direction. The length of the Bosphorus is 31 kilometers, and the widest point is 3.5 kilometers wide. The narrowest point is 760 meters wide. The deepest point is 120 meters. The Bosphorus Bridge was commissioned on the 29th of October 1973, on the 50th anniversary of Turkish Republic, measuring 1,074 meters long and was the first Bosphorus Bridge. The second one is called the Fatih Sultan Mehmed Bridge, was finished in 1988 and is 1,090 meters long. On both sides of the Bosphorus, there are numerous Ottoman winter and summer palaces, mansions, villas, and historical kiosks.